Long ago, in a small village, there lived a man named Vinay. He was not born a monk or scholar. In fact, he was just an ordinary man, much like anyone else. But deep within him, there was a yearning for something more, a desire to understand the deeper truth of life and to free himself from the endless cycle of suffering. This desire led him to renounce his worldly life and walk the path of Buddhism. At that time, Gautam Buddha, the Enlightened One, was residing at the famous monastery. People from every corner of the world gathered there to listen to his teachings. Inspired by the tales of Buddha's wisdom and compassion, Vinay decided to visit the monastery. When he arrived, he sat among the crowd, listening intently to the Buddha's words. As he listened, a transformation began within him. The Buddha spoke about the impermanence of life, the nature of suffering, and the path to liberation. Vinay was deeply moved by Buddha's words. He realized that he wanted to dedicate his life to these teachings and sought permission to join the Buddhist Sangha. Buddha, recognizing his sincerity and devotion, welcomed him with open arms. Vinay embraced his new life as a monk wholeheartedly. He followed the monastic rules with utmost diligence, practicing meditation and studying the teachings of Buddha. However, there was one significant challenge he faced. Vinay was blind. Despite his blindness, he never let it become an obstacle on his spiritual journey. He learned to control his other senses and focus his mind on the teachings and practices. His dedication and perseverance inspired the other monks, and he became a respected member of the Sangha. But Vinay's blindness was not without a story of its own. It was said that his condition was the result of action he had taken in a previous life, a reminder of the law of karma, which teaches that our actions have consequences, whether in this life or the next. In a previous life, Vinay had been a skilled and renowned physician. People from far and wide came to him for treatment. One day, a woman visited him desperate for help. She suffered from a severe eye condition that had left her in great pain and near blindness. She pleaded with him to cure her, promising to reward him generously if he succeeded. Moved by her plight, Vinay agreed to help. He carefully prepared a medicine and treated her condition. Over time, her eyesight improved, and she was able to see clearly again. But when it came time for her to fulfill her promise and reward him, the woman went back on her word. She refused to give him anything, thinking she could simply walk away now that she was cured. Vinay felt deeply betrayed. Anger and resentment grew in his heart. In a moment of vengeance, he gave her a second dose of medicine, but this time he altered it so that it damaged her eyes. The woman's eyesight deteriorated once more, leaving her blind again. While his anger was momentary, the consequences of his actions followed him into his next life. When the Buddha heard this story from Vinay, he shared it with the other monks. He explained that every action we take, whether good or bad, leaves a mark on us. The law of karma ensures that we experience the result of our actions, even if it takes lifetime for the effect to manifest. Vinay's blindness in this life was a result of the harmful actions he had taken in his past. But the Buddha also reminded everyone that the path to liberation is open to all, regardless of past karma. Through right action, meditation, and wisdom, we can overcome even the most challenging circumstances. Vinay's life in the monastery was not without its challenges. One day, after returning from his daily meditation, he unknowingly stepped on some insect on the ground. Being blind, he did not realize what had happened. When the other monks saw this, they were upset. They believed that Vinay had been careless and violated the principle of non-harm, which is central to the Buddhist way of life. The monks brought this incident to the Buddha's attention, seeking his judgment. The Buddha called Vinay and asked him gently, "Did you intentionally harm these insects?" Vinay replied, "No, master. I am blind and was unaware of their presence. I would never intentionally harm any living being." The Buddha listened carefully and then addressed the monk. He explained that while the principle of non-harm is essential, it is equally important to consider the intention behind an action. Vinay had not acted out of malice or carelessness. His actions were a result of his physical limitation, not a deliberate choice to harm. Through this incident, the Buddha taught the monks a valuable lesson. True compassion lies in understanding and not rushing to judge others without knowing their circumstances. He reminded them to approach every situation with empathy and wisdom. Vinay's story became a powerful example of how karma works and how it can be transcended through mindfulness and virtuous living. While his blindness was a result of past actions, his current life of dedication and compassion was leading him toward liberation. The Buddha often used this story to illustrate the importance of patience, perseverance, and understanding the nature of actions and their consequences. The Buddha said, "Whatever we experience in life is a result of our actions, whether from this life or a previous one. However, through right effort, mindfulness, and compassion, we can change our future and move closer to liberation." When I continue to live a life of meditation and service, despite his blindness, he remained steadfast in his practice, never allowing his disability to hinder his spiritual progress. His unwavering determination inspired everyone around him. Vinay's journey eventually led him to attain liberation. Through years of meditation and deep insight, he freed himself from the cycle of birth and death. His story became a testament to the transformative power of the Buddha's teachings. Even in the face of great challenges, Vinay showed that it is possible to overcome the burdens of past karma through virtuous living and inner strength. His life taught that true freedom comes not from avoiding difficulties, but from embracing them with wisdom and compassion. This story teaches 5 important lessons about life. Number 1. The law of karma. Every action we take has consequences. Good actions lead to positive outcomes, while harmful actions bring suffering. However, it is never too late to change our path through right effort and mindfulness. Number 2. Compassion and understanding. Before judging others, we must try to understand their circumstances. True compassion requires empathy and an open heart. Number 3. Perseverance in the face of challenges. Life is full of difficulties, but with patience and determination, we can overcome them and grow stronger. Number 4. The power of intention. What matters most is the intention behind our actions. Even if mistakes are made, a sincere heart and pure intention can lead to forgiveness and growth. Number 5. The path to liberation. No matter what our past holds, the path to enlightenment is open to everyone. By following the teachings of wisdom, morality, and meditation, we can free ourselves from suffering. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video, hit like button. And for more such stories, subscribe to our channel. Thank you and stay positive.